Yo, this is Rue's Reviews, where we keep it for real, for real. I am Rue, aka the Culture Black Kid,
I'm Ifoma, aka Iffy.
and this is our review of Bread Club's greatest hits, fingers crossed. They are an indie pop trio based in Sydney. This is their first project they have released since their EP in 2021 called Queen of Hearts. And yeah, I think their first full length project. They've definitely put out a number of singles throughout, and this is a very interesting one. So, without any further ado, let's jump straight into our overall thoughts. Iffy.
All right, listen, this is actually my first intro to Bread Club. And I don't know if this is how they normally formulate projects, like, because this is a really conceptual album,
Mm-hmm.
but it's fun. I think it's really fun. I think it really had a lot of groove, and it was a bit of an easy listen, but at the same time, it didn't really do much for me,
Mm-hmm.
even though it was like really good. I think even though all the songs were from different decades,
Mm-hmm.
don't bash me when I say this. I think they just sounded the same in their own weird little way. Maybe I'm reaching. I could be reaching, but that's what I got personally, and I'll dive into that later. But despite all that, I still actually really liked the project. I think it was cool, and it was a genuine easy listen for me.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna come back to that point because I'm curious to hear more on that as well. Yeah, I think this is a smooth, fun journey through some iconic moments or iconic decades. But whilst it is fun, yeah, I just don't think there are uh too many moments that really stood out or were as strong as I hoped. But overall, it is still a fun listen. Definitely not gonna steer anyone away from it. But yeah, I do have my critiques for sure. So before we get to that, let's start with some pros. Let's start with some positives.
Oh yeah, I got a few. First things first, I think they really hit the nail on the head when it came to the time periods. As a song would play, you could very clearly tell when each song was meant to be replicating. My next pro is that Gemma Navarette feature was 10 out of 10. Her
Mm.
voice was perfect on that song.
Mhm.
It was a track Love Games,
Mhm.
and yeah, they really picked well when thinking of who could add. I think she brought a lot to that track. It was it was just gorgeous, perfect. As I said in the overall thoughts, I think it's just a really, really fun. Um, would you call it an album? Like,
Yeah, it's an album.
okay,
I think they've been
album.
I think they've been marketing it as an album.
Okay, yeah, it was a fun album. Had a lot of grooves. That were on a lot of the songs, especially on Force of Nature as well. And on that note, I want to kind of go to my standouts. Lonely Without You, great song.
Mhm.
I love the lyrics, like "Lonely without ya, it's only human nature." It is. It is. Thank you very much. Yeah, Mayana. And yeah, I love the added horns, or to be specific, like the trumpets.
Mhm.
Just takes it above and beyond for me, and I love that tone shift as they hit those high notes. Genuinely a great song that makes me feel really good.
Mhm.
Um, and also technical difficulties, the decade shift in the middle of the song.
Mhm.
If you don't really know, this album is like, I'm gonna try and give a rundown. The
Mhm.
whole album, each song goes through a different decade. So like
Mhm.
50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. That's the whole concept of the
Yeah.
album. But yeah, in the song Technical Difficulties, they go from 70s to 80s, right in the middle. It was like avant-garde. It was
Mhm.
gorgeous, really smart, really cool. Yeah, and just added to the overall fun of the project. Like, it was great. So those are my pros.
Okay, okay. Yeah, for my pros, I said again the concept of going through the decades, like you just mentioned, whilst is not a crazy topic, I don't think anyone has done it around here. So yeah, kudos to you guys for doing something that's something that's somewhat creative and fun, and yeah, they've been working on this project for a number of years. So I've heard. So yeah, it's nice to hear that it's all culminated into this and again, I've used the word a number of times, but it just seems like a fun
No, because it's
project.
perfect word.
Yeah. Um, I'll go into a couple songs that stood out for me. I do agree, Love Games. Do want to quickly correct, Gemma Ilana is what she's going by now.
Sorry.
That's all right. It's all right. It does say Gemma Navarette on the feature, but yeah, no. She changed her name to Gemma Ilana,
Oopsies.
artist name, but amazing artist. Put out one of my favorite R&B projects at the end of or last year at some point, and it's the homie. Um, uh, I also enjoy Sunshine. I think it's a cute entrance with the 60s talk show type kind of thing, which comes back right at the end.
Mm,
I think it's a nice way to tie up the project. And I love the single, Pushing Away. We talked on that a
yeah.
couple weeks ago, so don't need to go into that. Make sure you go check out that previous review. Yeah, I think those are probably my three standouts with songs. But obviously with pros comes some cons possibly. So yeah, iffy.
All right. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to say my piece. Listen, even though it was like, it's not out of this world conceptual, but as we just said, first kind of banned to do it here. Even though it's conceptual and this project genuinely has a lot of time and thought behind it, I felt as if I was zoning in and out every other song.
Hmm.
Like, just like genuinely, like it would go good, good, to me.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I just felt like there needed to be consistency in keeping me attentive. Once again, like this is my listening experience, so take it or leave it. Um, I also think when I'm gonna go back to how I think the songs kind of sound the same because you're probably like, what do you
Hmm.
mean? The way I mean, what I mean by that is I feel like they could have experimented a little bit more with the genres that they were kind of taking out from each decade.
Hmm.
So this is a really cool album, but I feel like the genres they were picking from each decade were
Hmm.
very similar.
Hmm.
Like the 2010s one, wait, let me find my notes. Yeah, so Come My Way, that was the 2010s decade.
Yeah.
And that was the most different song to me because that had a trap breakdown
Yep.
in the middle of it. I don't really know how I feel about that too, but that's not the point. I would have loved to seen like pop punk. Like I think that would have
Mm.
been like a cool feature to add in there or something.
Hmm.
I just felt like they played it safe. I'm not saying having them all kind of sound similar is bad,
No.
but I think they played it very safe and could have experimented a little more with this concept that they kind of brought out.
For sure.
Um, yeah, but those are my only cons.
Okay. Just to go off of that in my cons, I hear what you're saying. Um, I think my con in regards to that isn't the fact that the sonic choices were um similar, or that, which is also a good testament, because if it's transitioning from decade to decade and it sounds like a consistent listening experience, then that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Because sometimes it can feel all over the place, and we've had projects that we've listened to in the past that we've critiqued for going like, yo, can you choose a lane, please? So that's kudos to Bread Club for still within those sonic shifts changing. I just think, and this kind of brings up my point when I was critiquing my small critique on Pushing Away, the single from last couple weeks ago, which was, this is great, but you can do more. Like, there's more dramatics. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
you could have gone even further in the like production. If you're gonna go 80s, take your inspiration and go further, go even deeper.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna do a 70s style breakdown, solos and solos and solos. If you're gonna do yacht rock, again, I'm not a yacht rock listener,
Yeah.
but go there. Whatever is the standard, go even
Go
higher to
above.
make it sound even stronger. And um again, I thought that overall it was good, but I feel like there was another level that it could have hit. I also just think that a lot of the performances could have been stronger throughout. Nothing overly stood out. I feel like this was a very production heavy project. I feel like
Mm,
that was the focus. I feel like the content, that the topics, like I don't really remember too many of the things that were being discussed.
yeah.
Um Outside of maybe love games. Um Again, I need to be reading the lyrics while I'm listening to these to be remembering, but um yeah, I thought that, there's nothing wrong with the production being the main focus. But yeah, I just think some of the songwriting could have been a bit stronger. I feel like there could have been more catchier melodies, and any some lyrical moments again.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, yeah. So I think that's probably my
Yeah,
main cons, shall I say.
valid.
But yeah, so let us go into our overall rating. So if you are unsure, this is the rating system. It is, are we here for this? Does it depend on the day whether we're here for this or not? Are we feeling iffy about it? So yeah, iffy. How do you feel?
This is the first time I've teetered on an actual project,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm teetering, and I'm teetering on depending on the day and feeling iffy.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, like, and we've both said this so many times, it's a really fun project, and I love the thought that went behind it, and it's very conceptual, and I love Bread Club for that, but I just don't see myself going out of my way to listen. The reason I teeter towards like depending on the day though is because it is genuinely a project that I will tell people about. Like I'm going to tell my friends about this
Mm-hmm.
and say like, oh my god, there's an album that's been released that literally goes through each of the decades. How cool is
Mm-hmm.
that? But like for like I wasn't blown away.
Yeah.
But like I think the concept is fun. I think because it's so cool, I'm like, you know what, I'll try again and I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna tell people about it, but it's not all the way up there for me. So yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Um, I think I started at a teetering between here and depends, but I think as we've discussed it, excuse me, I think it's more of a solid depends for me. Yeah, I think that as a first project, as a first album, it is again a great listen. It's kudos to Bread Club for again, like I mentioned, showing some light on each of those decades, but still making it a consistent listen throughout. However, I'm keen to see how they grow from here and
Yeah.
see how they develop and continue to strengthen on all aspects. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts for Bread Club Greatest Hits. Fingers crossed. But let us know what you think. Are you here for this? Are you feeling iffy about it? Let us know. And yeah, once again, this is Rue's Reviews. I am Rue, aka the Culture Black Kid,
I'm Ifoma, aka Iffy.
and we'll catch you next time. Peace.